Democratic strategist Joel Rubin joins us now from Washington, D.C. Thank you very much for joining us here. So, for the first time, we have seen President Trump calling for condemnation of white supremacy. Is that satisfactory to you?
Well, we're in a national emergency right now, and we have to treat it like a national security threat. And we, therefore, need to have the president go further and declare that the guns should be rounded up, that what he is calling for and what he is arguing for is not enough. And we have seen too many mass murders and tragedies like this take place. The guns are the core of the problem, but it's also hateful ideology. And the president did nothing to address that, and he needs to take this seriously. But he's not going to, because largely this is his base of voters. And so if he does anything against them, he's likely to lose the 2020 election. And that's what he's most concerned about.
So could Trump not impose mandatory background checks with his executive powers? And if so, why is he shying away from that?
Well, the president has had many opportunities. All of these attacks in the last couple of years have all happened on his watch. There's legislation that's passed the House already, 2 major bills on gun control and gun violence prevention. They're sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk in the Senate. The president didn't call for those to move. He didn't call for the Senate to come back in and to pass those bills like he should have. And so the president, he can't do this unilaterally. This needs the rule of law, and he's not using the rule of law to protect Americans. And it's very dangerous for all of us living in the United States right now to know that our president is comfortable with people walking around with weapons of war and no controls against them. And that's very, very unsettling.
Well, Joel, as you mentioned, I mean, there were 255 mass shootings in 2019, which the numbers have risen quite significantly during Trump's presidency. So do you think he should take the blame?
I think that the president has created a climate of fear, particularly against immigrants and against brown-skinned Americans. He has chosen to use language at his rallies that has done nothing but incite anger and hatred towards those minority groups. It was clear that in the El Paso killing, that the individual wanted to kill brown Latinos. And so, yes, the president, he is partly responsible for the climate of fear. We in the national security community, I served at the State Department, when we see leaders of foreign countries calling out and using incitement type language against ethnic minorities or religious minorities, we describe that as a problem, and we call on those governments to change their rhetoric. Well, we are doing that right now here at home. The president has not changed his rhetoric, and so unfortunately, we're still living in a climate of fear, particularly minority communities.
Well, we have to wrap it up here, but thank you very much, Joel Rubin.